Do you guys believe in love at first sight?
No, I don't think love at first sight is a real thing. I think you can be almost enamored. You can almost like be not obsessive, but almost about the way someone looks or the way someone is, like someone's laugh or blah, blah. You might really like how it is, but it's not love to me. To me, love is in on that sense of the word, in the romantic sense of the word, is when you truly know someone, you know everything about somebody, you know their flaws, but you know their beauties, you know their fears, but you know their hopes, and you still choose to support them in every way. You still love them in every way, and pretty much nothing they do is something which could put you off in that sense. Um, so I think it's much more profound than just a love at first sight sort of.
That is a really profound answer.
I think I do, I think I remember seeing some sort of statistics somewhere sort of where people sort of do sort of know, or a lot of people do end up sort of seeing someone and end up with it. But I think I do believe in it, yeah.
Why do you think it's true though? Like, do you think it's actual love, or do you think it can be infatuation as well?
I think that's very true. I think it can be infatuation. You sort of see someone, you're gripped by them. But I suppose, yeah, no, it's subjective, I suppose. But no, I think that's right. You can sort of just be quickly taken by someone based off appearance, some one particular passage of something they've said.
No.
Why not?
Uh, because
Just physical attraction, right?
yeah, but once you get to know somebody, them internally might, make them look better externally. Like people I've been with in the past, some of them, weren't up to par at first, but you get to know them, their interests, and the stuff you have in common.
Do you think it can be true though?
Yeah, I definitely think it can be true. I've never experienced it, so I don't really know. But I do know a couple that when they first met and they started dating, they've been together for like several years now. And so, yeah, I believe in it.
So it's basically like an outlier, like a unicorn kind of thing, right? Rather than something that's common that happens to everybody.
I feel like, of course, a lot of people, like a lot of couples, they like find someone and then they've known each other for so long, but they don't act on the love that they have for that person. So I feel like maybe if they don't get together immediately, they still found each other like somehow, and that had to be through a first look. So yeah.
I mean, so the physical attraction is kind of like the entrance ticket, right? Once you are attracted to somebody physically, you can get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, true. But also, I feel like because whenever I meet someone, I notice like their aura and their personality as a part of like how I see them physically as well. You know what I mean? Because if I see a guy and he's acting like a total asshole, and I'm like, you're ugly. I don't find you attractive at all.
I don't think there's like love at first sight, but just like she said, physical attraction at first sight, I guess. You can tell if you can like someone at first sight, I guess, but not like in the feeling of love. But maybe it's true. Maybe it's a 1 in a million thing. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like hitting the jackpot, right?
Love like the idea of love at first sight has to be based on objective attraction to something. So you cannot fall in love with a thing in the same way you fall in love with a person. So like I think taking the time to know someone and to learn about them and to be attracted to them, is much more than love at first sight, because love is such a meaningful thing. You can have a love for someone's beauty, but it's not the same as loving them.
Okay, what about you? What do you think?
No, so I'd say I wouldn't believe in it in the sense of, you fall in love with someone the first time you see them, the first time you meet them or whatever. I think some sort of the initial impression you get of someone can give like a good idea of how you feel about them or what you might want with that person. But there obviously is still the case of, to be in love with someone, like, whatever that like actually means.
I want to say yes, but I don't have my own experience with that, but someone out there, maybe. I feel like I've heard a lot of really great stories of others when they've felt love at first sight. So
It can happen, but it's rare.
But it's
Yeah,
rare.
I think it's something you have to work at, really.
Yeah. Some people
have
do.
to-
Yes, I think it does exist.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think you have an attraction at first sight because otherwise you wouldn't carry on with that person. But whether it's love at that point, I would say probably it isn't. It's attraction, which forms a relationship, which forms love.
No, I don't think so. But I think you can feel a bond with someone immediately, and that bond can develop into love. Well, obviously, but I think that attraction certainly can form, but even platonically, I think love can evolve, but not immediately.
Do you think it can be possible though?
It's not.
Some people, for example.
It's not something that I've ever experienced, but maybe for someone else. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I don't think so, because I think love requires like a genuine emotional connection, and I think just from the physicality of people, I don't think that's enough. Maybe a sexual desire, but not love.
No. I feel like you need to get to know a person before you can.
Before you can actually form a strong connection with somebody, right?
Probably not. I mean, yeah, I think I agree with what they said, that sometimes people can get to know each other really well in a year, and sometimes it takes 10 years, and even after 20 years you don't really know the person very well. Yeah,
Okay.
it depends on circumstances as well, I believe, as well, and like time, and yeah.
What about you?
I think sometimes you can just click with someone a bit easier than other people, so maybe. But equally, I think relationships take work and take time, so we shouldn't just assume if you don't click instantly that it's not worth anything as well.
So instead of thinking that the grass is always greener, it takes time to get to know somebody. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No, it takes time to get to know people.
Yeah, I do believe in love at first sight. Yeah, I think it happened to me.
Are you still married to the person that you fell in love with at first sight?
I'm still married to the person I fell in love with at first sight, and I fell in love with him at first sight about a quarter of a mile that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.